Okay, welcome back to the session. In the previous session, we have seen that in general, thermodynamic work depends on the path. Now, in this session, we will prove that the hydrostatic work is path dependent by taking a specific example. So, you can consider a PV diagram over here. In which the system under consideration is going from the initial equilibrium state denoted as I here to the final equilibrium state denoted as F. So three different paths are shown here. The paths have been taken simpler, represented by some straight lines here to make our calculations easy. So one of the path, let me denote it by IAF. IAF, let it be one path by which the system can move from initial thermodynamic state I to a final thermodynamic state F. Now there can be another path chosen, that is through I then on to B. B is an intermediate state, and then from B finally to the F. So that is a second path, and there can be a third path, like from I directly I'm just going to F. So I can choose any number of several other paths of different shapes, okay, but we are for the time being, for mathematical convenience, I am choosing only three paths. What we will do, we will calculate the work done in each of these paths. So let me name these paths as path number 1. So let me say this is path number 2. This one is path number 2 over here, IBF, and this is path number 3. Let me label it so that we can refer back to it. So we will calculate the work done by or on the system through each of these paths separately. The work done can be calculated by considering the area under the curve. Okay, so let's consider for path 1. For path 1, so you know that path 1 is I through A. A is an intermediate state, and then finally on to F. So what kind of a process is this one? Is it representing an expansion or a compression? You can clearly understand that the process has finally resulted in an increase in the volume. So we started with V0 or V0, and final volume of the system is 2V0. So means the volume has got doubled. Hence it is an expansion. So you can see it is an expansion. That is one thing can be concluded by just referring to the initial and final volumes. Now what will be the work done? Okay, we call it as work done through the first path. If the system moves through the first path, then work done is simply equal to area under the PV diagram. So area under the PV diagram, you can see it is nothing but area under the line IA. And you know what is this path IA representing? The pressure is maintained at 2P0. So it's an isobaric process, and the next intermediate process, it is happening at a constant volume of 2V0. So we can say this part AF of the process is isochoric in nature. So the total area under the curve, so we are always interested in area under the curve. So I should take the area that is below this graph, right? So whatever I am just shading, I should take this entire area. Okay, that is what we see, area enclosed by the graph and the volume axis. Until volume axis reached, I have to take. So the shaded area, that is represented by a rectangle over here, which is some IADC, area of rectangle IADC. That is what I have shaded here. So what's the value over there? So we can just take that is equal to what is IA. You can directly write it from here. IA from the diagram, that is equal to 2V0 minus V0. So magnitude is simply V0. So I'm writing that is V0. Now what is this DC or sorry, no, DC same thing as here. So what is the height or one side AD? So this much, what is this much equal to? That is nothing but the y-axis quantity, that is 2p0. So I can just multiply it with the 2p0. So the length into breadth 2p0. Now this is the area 2p0v0. Okay. Now let me use to do justice with our sign convention. So this is representing an expansion. So the work done is negative. So let me say that the work done here, I'm just using the negative sign. So this is the work done if the system proceeds through path number 1. Now let us see what is the work done if the system is moving through path number 2. So for path 2, let me specify the path by telling which is the path 2, that is from I to B, then B to F. Okay, so let me say I to B. B is an intermediate state. All these are equilibrium states, remember, because we are considering the system to be undergoing quasi-static processes. Then on to F. So once again, since F is having greater volume, it is representing expansion. That is for sure. The process is expansion. No doubt about it. For that you have to consider the volume alone. Now, what will be the area here? What is the area here? So, this straight line that represents once again an isochoric process at V0, and BF represents an isobaric process at P0. So anyway, the relevant area here below the curve should be this one. So what I'm just shading, I'm shading by using green lines. So this is the area. I should consider only the area below the curve. Okay, being a straight line portion, this IB do not contribute anything to the area. Okay, so what is the, once again, being a rectangle, you can calculate that one. That is W equal to W for the second path. That is equal to how much? Area of I can say BFDC. So what is that equal to? You will get it very simple. One side is of course P0. P0 is one side, and the other side is as usual V0. The gap 2V0 minus V0 is V0. So by using sign convention, I'll be using minus sign here. So that is what? Minus P0 V0. That is a second value. Now let us consider the third possible value, which is straight away not going through any of the intermediate A or B states. For path third path 3, I'm just taking. So that is straight away from I to F straight. Okay. So once again, it is the process is always expansion itself, because we are talking about the same process but going through different intermediate states. W for the third path, how do you calculate the W for the third path? That will be area under the curve representing I to F. So you can see that it is now this particular area. I have to maybe just take this much also, right? This much also should be taken. Okay, so I'm taking some area which is below IF to be. How do you calculate? Can you calculate it like the total area? So the total area will be represented by, I'm just now drawing some vertical lines. Maybe it is too much now, so I'm drawing some vertical lines using yellow lines. So you can see this much is the area that is relevant in our topic here. How do you calculate? This is quite easy, because one is a triangle. IBF represents a triangle, right angle triangle for sure. So it will be equal to the area of the right angle triangle IBF and the area of the rectangle, that is what do you say, something like BFDC. So I can say that is equal to area, let me go back, yes, area of triangle IFB plus area of the rectangle, that is BFDC, which you can same manner you can calculate. Area of the triangle will be equal to half BH, so it is equal to something like half. You can take some base area, that is again, okay, you can take any of this. So you know this side is 2P0 minus P0, that is equal to P0 then, and this side is V0, you know, it will be equal to half into P0 or P0 into V0, that is the area of, okay, I should of course take it as minus, doesn't matter, let me calculate the magnitude first and finally let me put up the convention sign. And you know the other one is nothing but P0 V0, that is a magnitude, so it will be equal to, or you can put the negative signs here, one negative sign here, one negative sign here to follow the convention. So that will be something like minus 3 by 2 is not 1.5, I can say minus 3 by 2 P0 V0. Okay, that is the third. So it's time to conclude, or the thing is that, you know, work done in the first case W1, that is the first path, it is not equal to, from equation 1 and 2 and 3 you can get it, work done following the second path, which is nevertheless not equal to work done following the third path. Each have got a different value. So one is minus P0 V0, other one is 2 P0 V0, and the third one is 3 by 2 P0 V0. So the conclusion is that, okay, the hydrostatic work done during a process is depending on the path. Or what you have to tell is that the thermodynamic work in general, thermodynamic work, this is our take home, thermodynamic work is path dependent. Remember, this is a general statement which will have certain assumptions that we will see in the coming topics. Or I can say that the thermodynamic work depends on, mathematically speaking, depends on the path of integration. That is also another way of telling, path of integration. And hope you remember, in our one of the former sessions we had made it clear that there are two types of thermodynamic functions basically. One is known as a path function, other one is known as a state function, where two examples of path functions were discussed, one of which was work done. And our present discussion once again proves mathematically that the work done in thermodynamics is in general a path function, and hence work done is represented by inexact differentials, and that was one reason why whenever we wrote work, elemental work or infinitesimal work, to show its path dependent nature or inexact nature, we used a bar over D. So hope you remember this notation that we are following to indicate the path dependent nature of the hydrostatic work. We'll discuss further things in the coming sessions. Thank you.